you really could be endangering your employees or your family by not arming your system correctly. Hang out with me for a couple minutes while I explain this to you. This literally happened again yesterday. Customer called and she said, hey, my employees came in and they were there for about an hour doing prep work, and then somebody came in a side door and set off the alarm system, and they didn't even know the alarm was set because they'd been there for an hour. And so I was like, man, what are they doing? So there's on every alarm system, there's two basic ways to, on most all alarm systems, and we're talking about professional alarm systems, not necessarily professionally installed, but professional alarm systems that call police, fire, and medical services. They're going to reach out to the fire department if you have a fire. They're going to call the police department if you have an emergency. So we're talking about a monitored security system. I'm not talking about, something you pick up at Costco or Sam's. So there's two basic ways to alarm most professional systems. One is you arm it away, which means you're going away. You're going away from the premises. You want everything on that alarm system to turn on. The other is arm it to stay. Stay means you are staying home. But a lot of people still don't understand what that means, because what happens is you'll get some slick sales guy come in from one of these alarm companies that says you need to have a 5-year contract or 3-year contract, any term contract really. And you really don't get the definitions of what each of those things mean. They really don't explain to you how the system works, how the system functions, and what the difference between arm stay and arm away is. Now, the easiest way to remember is, hey, I'm going away, so I'm arming it away. I'm going to stay home, so I'm arming it to stay. That's the easiest way to describe it. But let me tell you what happens. As a matter of fact, this system behind me, let me pull it down. This is probably... it is the number one selling system in the U.S. right now, but it is, if you have Brinks or ADT, you probably have this system. If you have us, you probably have this system. There's a lot of dealers throughout the U.S. that use this system. So your screen probably looks something similar to this. You'll have an option to, right now it just says it's disarmed, right? Most of the screens will have something like this on the front. Your app will have something a little bit different, but I'm just going to talk to you about why you are endangering your family or your employees if you're arming it to stay while you're all gone. Because there's not an understanding of, when you arm it to stay, what happens with all the sensors inside of the building. Now, if your alarm company set it up properly or you set it up properly, this system's a smart system. It's already going to come programmed with things set up the way they should be set up. But typically what you're going to do is, if you're hitting arm on your system, it's going to give you two options: arm stay and arm away. Now remember, away, you're going away. Arm stay, you're staying home. What happens when you hit arm stay, and I'll do this here, I'm actually inside of the building, so we'll hit arm stay.
Retail area, arm stay.
What happens is all of the perimeter sensors on this building, now that includes all the window sensors, it includes all of the door sensors, anything that would be set up on the perimeter, which could be motion sensors outside as well. Those are set up in a different zone. But to keep it simple, if you are going to stay in the building, you want all the motions and all the sensors inside the building to turn off. Why do you want to do that? Somebody please comment below. Why do you want to do that? So
retail area disarmed.
What you're hoping to do is you're hoping to make sure that nothing inside of the building goes off while you are there. That's why you're arming it to stay. So let's say, for instance, that all your employees leave at the end of the night and you've told them, hey, just arm it to stay, that's fine. Your kids leave for school in the morning, you're already at work, and they're arming it to stay every time they walk out the door. All that then is being armed is just your windows and just your door sensors in most scenarios. And all the motion sensors turn off on the inside. 80% of the time, when somebody breaks into your home or business, they're going to come through a door because it's the easiest path of resistance to get in. Like you fit through the door, right? That's 80% of the time. The other 20% of the time, you have people who are brave enough, stupid enough, mean enough, whatever, vigilant enough to break out your window because they know if they lift it, alarm's going to go off. Break out your window and come in. Now, if you have armed it to stay, you're gone, and somebody breaks through your window, if you don't have a glass break on the inside of that room where the system can hear it and go off, your motion sensors inside the building are turned off. When the motion sensors are all turned off, that person now has free reign of your entire house to look for your jewelry and to look for your collectibles or look for your guns or knives or, God forbid, they steal grandmother's ashes out of the closet, right? I mean, there's all these things that people can do if they have free reign of your house for a couple of hours. So please try to make sure that if y'all have gotten into the habit of setting it to stay when you're leaving, like everybody I just had to stay, that you understand what you're doing, because we had a customer many years ago, 15 years ago now. She didn't set her system, so it's really not a fair scenario, but this will bring it home maybe to you. She comes home at lunchtime from work and goes into her house, and somebody's robbing her house. Now, she didn't set her system right, but she did not know that anyone was there. Had she set her alarm system and she had known that someone was there, she wouldn't have gotten murdered in her kitchen. That's what happened. She came home, somebody was there, she got murdered in her kitchen. The same thing can happen to you if you set your system to stay, but you're away. All the motion sensors are turned off. Somebody comes in through one of your windows. Somebody breaks a window out. They don't come through a door. All your motion sensors are off. You come home while they're there, you stand a chance of, being a victim to a homicide. Don't allow that to happen. And if you're using one of these big, huge companies that comes in and does installations, unfortunately, they're not going to take the time, most of the time, I shouldn't say it about all of them, but I mean, there's some good salespeople that care. There's some good installers that care. But we have found, for the most part, they do not inform people of what these settings mean. You need to know so you don't come home and fall victim to somebody being there who's got nefarious intent. I hope this helps. I'm getting on to two people who maybe watched the video, I don't know. Nicely, though, because I texted them and said, hey, you've got to stop doing this. Hope this helps. Do me a favor, like and subscribe.